What's up, y'all? Tis your boy Dreaded Don here, back again delivering you guys my new games for the month of May, man. I don't know if it's just me. I don't know, it might just be, but it seems like this is like the month for sci-fi. A lot of sci-fi games coming out this month. We got, like a horror sci-fi. We got like a roguelike sci-fi. We got some colony sci-fi in there. One that's kind of like a No Man's Sky meets like a colony. We got a whole bunch. We got a whole bunch on the list, and I'm excited to dive into what we got going on this month, man. And nonetheless, I'm gonna be getting my hands on a good few of them. I mean, probably, maybe. It doesn't matter. We'll see. Let's go ahead and dive on in, my friends. Now, the first game we got up on the list is not exactly a sci-fi game, but it is going to make you move. It's going to make you groove, and you definitely have to throw some 1-2s if you're trying to get through it. You know what I mean? This is Dead as Disco coming from Brain Jar Studios, and what they're unveiling here is a beat-em-up game that you got to throw down to the rhythm of the beat. And we had similar games to like in similar veins like this. We had Hi-Fi Rush, which was a pretty cool one where you got to also throw down to the rhythm of the beat. But this one, honestly, kind of gave me Sifu slash Absolver vibes, the neon layer on top of it, and add another beat on top of where you got to really just throw it down to the beat. And I was all for that. I'm 100% for that. I love me some good Sifu. I love me some good Absolver. And with the visuals looking similar to that, especially when it comes to the combat and the combos that you're going to be doing, and then they turn the visuals to the side where you're walking down the train and you're also throwing combos to that. It looks like it's gonna be a good time. I want to see if they got some heavy body blows to some heavy bass. Got me hopping up the rhythm to the snare drums. They get a little hip hop beat where I'm just kick, like I'm Wrong from Street, from Tekken. But nonetheless, I'm interested in what they got going. This is also dropping again, as I said at the beginning of the month. It's gonna be dropping on May the 5th, my friends, in early access on Steam. Unfortunately, not coming for PS5, but it is going to be early access May 5th on Steam. Following that, shortly after, we got Directive 8020, man. I'm another one that I've been just extremely excited for, coming from the directors of Until Dawn and The Quarry. This time, they're just taking the setting entirely to space, man. So if you got any friends that enjoy a good horror but enjoy some good sci-fi, this is the place to take them, man. And honestly, I don't like horror games oftentimes, but this is one of the games I'm actually very thoroughly excited for. I'm gonna be playing this with a buddy of mine, playing this with my girl. Definitely be replaying it at plenty of times just to see what they really have to offer. They do say now in this new one that they're gonna be offering a completely new experience with a few of the elements that they're gonna be interacting with, in terms of where you're not gonna be able to turn back. They have just a dead end route, and hey, let's see how you guys let that story unfold. Cause you say dead end, but we'll see how really dead end it is, right? This is dropping on May the 12th. If you're interested in picking it up, my friends, and you know damn sure I'm definitely gonna pick this one up and give you guys my little 1-2s about it. Following those two up about a week later, just to give you some time to really spend some time with other twos, we've got Deeprock Galactic Rogue Core, man. And honestly, when I saw this one, watching the trailer, I was pretty excited because I spent a lot of time with Deeprock Galactic Survivors, and I didn't really play Deeprock Galactic itself. But seeing the two mesh together in Deeprock Galactic Rogue Core, I'm like, okay, you guys really took the elements of Survivor, you guys took the main elements from Galactic, and you guys put them together and be like, hey, we can give you guys the best of both worlds. And I think this is going to draw a lot of fans in just from who like the two games separately, like how I enjoy one of the games primarily, and then I'm interested in I like the elements in the new visual, the perspective of Deeprock Galactic itself. So them merging the two elements together, I really want to see how they flesh this out, especially since the story is that we're coming as the Reclaimer Squad now. We gotta get what's done, and they're not giving us any resource. Why would they? We're Team One. We're Team One. We gotta clean the mess and get it done. Rock and stone. Anyways, man, this is dropping on May the 20th. If you're looking to pick it up, they already have, well, at least the early access is, and then I believe they're having their closed alpha test. I'm not sure they've had it already, but it does drop into early access for Steam on May the 20th. And following that up, releasing on the same day, we got Spacecraft, man, from Shiro Games. This is looking similar to like a No Man's Skies, but what they're looking to take a turn on it is they're going to have more in-depth logistics and production, as well as an expansive online universe where you're able to cohesively make this production and this management and this empire run together with other players. And that's kind of where my interest is. I want to see if they're gonna really making it an open online sandbox with No Man's styles, travel, and graphics, kind of similar to something like Eve with No Man's Sky mix. If they can really make that happen, hey, super savvy, super savvy. But if it has no combat, no conflict, no territorial reign or anything, I wonder where they're gonna be able to have that player retention really stick. Of course, the idea and the concept is really interesting in and of itself. You know, manage an entire base, move to other planets, allow that entire chain of production to work throughout the entire solar system you plan to manage. Maybe work with a friend to work through like multiple different solar systems, create some worm gates, work throughout a different galaxy. Different galaxies have a vast chain of production, but at the end of the day, what is that chain of production going to be able to use towards? Are we going to be able to build massive fleets of ships? Are we going to be able to automate? Like, of course we're going to be able to automate it, but what other types of ways are we going to be able to make this production run? Right now, I'm just kind of curious about what they're going to be able to have inside the game entirely, but nonetheless, the idea and the concept that they're offering is exciting, man, and that's dropping on May the 20th. Now, if you got anyone that has just been addicted to Sims 4, you understand how many mods and how many goddamn expansions the Sims 4 has these people locked under, man. Their PC is under a pressure that doesn't even reach the bottom of the Mariana Trench, my friends. And hopefully this next title loosens that weight just a little bit. Hopefully we can get it to convince them to join a new life, and it is Paralives, coming from Paralives Studios, essentially, right? This is dropping on May the 25th, and what they're hoping to do with this life sim is give us a little new take on the life sim genre, give us a little bit more in-depthness when it comes to customizing our home, some more in-depthness when it comes to personalizing the sim, a little bit more interpersonal connection when it comes to the relationships that your sim is able to create in their work life and their schedule, and just allows you to a little bit have more freedom when it comes to controlling them and truly establishing that game as a life sim, right? Not to say Sims 4 doesn't have that, but all the mods and the expansion that the game has to offer, it weighs it down a good bit. And I feel like it's going to be really hard for this game to be able to pull fans out of the Sims 4 genre and onto a new life sim game. And hopefully it really does something different that allows them to cling to it. Like, this is a new one. This is a new game that we're going to get them on. Because I've been telling my girl about it, and she was telling me how Sims 4 has over 100 expansions, which is nuts, my friend. So hopefully you can recommend this Paralive to some of your friends. They can check it out, see if they're interested in it, and hopefully make the full transition. This is dropping on May the 25th, my friends. Taking us back to space, man, we got Starminer dropping on May the 27th, man. When I seen this one, it gave me, Everspace vibes, if you've ever seen that, but instead of you just controlling the ship that you have and, commanding your way through space with just that piloting craft. This one seems to allow you to have a more in-depth craft that you're able to add more modules on, extra thrusters. It's going to give you full control over the, as they said, the 6 degrees of space. Not to say that Everspace didn't, but this one's going to give you almost as if you were controlling the International Space Station and continuously adding modules onto that, taking it out to the Kepler belt, mining asteroids out there, and then coming in contact with different types of alien civilizations, even going in having combat with them, and then the entire meanwhile you're just adding different modifications to this modular space station, right? And I felt like the in-depthness that they're willing to offer in this game was pretty damn interesting. I feel like we don't always get to see this level of in-depthness up close. We get to have things like No Man's Sky, Everspace, where you get to just pilot that one ship, or we get to have things where you have like Stellaris, and where you're controlling large civilizations on a massive scale. But this one seems like it's kind of like that in-between stance, and I like that. I'm interested to see what they're willing to offer and see what they're really going to be encompassing when it comes to just controlling the spacecraft, and how far they're going to will allow us to really push the limits of the space station that we're going to be controlling. Again, this is dropping on May the 25th, and it's Starminer, my friends. Now, bringing us back on home, it is Agent Bond 007, coming straight from the studios that made the Hitman games, man. So you already know this is going to be a phenomenal. This is going to be a phenomenal game from Interactive Studios, and I'm interested to see all the little detail elements that they slip in from the Hitman games, such as the espionage. Of course, Agent Bond is going to be able to have espionage, but this is a time when he's early in his career. And he's not only early in his career, but he's still Agent Bond at the end of the day. And because he's Agent Bond, he's an efficient agent. And this is before he even gets to 00. So, you know, he's just able to do his job highly efficiently. And so any type of task force that see him on the scene, they're going to immediately recognize him. So you're going to obviously have some type of disguise and some espionage you're going to be getting into, but there's of course going to be high explosion, high action chasing scenes where you're trying to escape the compound as quick as possible, and if not escape the compound as quick as possible, you're chasing down the villain that you got to get, you know, either the resource, the data, or something from. You know, it's an agent game. It's a high intensity action agent game, and I don't know what else more you can really expect from Interactive. They're gonna turn a Hitman game into essentially an Uncharted X Hitman game, and I'm excited. I like that. Uncharted, I love me some good Uncharted games back in the day, and if you add some Uncharted with some Hitman gameplay, hey, I'm for it. I am for it, my friends. This is dropping on May the 27th as well, so right at the tail end of the month. So if you know got some time between Directive 8020 as well, all the way down to James Bond on the 27th. Woo, so that is going to be the entire list of games. It's just 7 games, just a little something quick for you, you know what I mean? But we wrap it. It's some good ones. It's going to be going to space and back, you know? So we're on an adventure. Man. So we got a solid 7 for us coming this May. If you are interested in any of those titles that will be dropping this month, let me know. I'm definitely going to be picking up 8020. Definitely be picking up Dead as Disco. Definitely probably be picking up some James Bond because that's looking like a good time. I might pick up a couple of other space ones, but I don't know if I'll have time to really play them, but I'm looking forward to them. If you're picking up any of them, let me know down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video. And as always, my friends, sub so we continue to share some info. Otherwise, catch you guys on the horizon. Deuces.